साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो श्री निर्मला।
Hello, welcome.
Hello, Leah.
Hi, Richard. Good to see you again here.
Absolutely. Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, that's right. And it's Good Friday too.
And it's Good Friday too, indeed.
Yes. Very special day, very special Easter long weekend. So I'm sure many people are relaxed and enjoying after having Friday off.
Yeah, that's right. And tonight, something a little bit different. We don't have, there's only Leah and myself.
That's it.
And we, of course, have Path behind the scenes doing the technicalities.
Yes.
But we don't have a
guest
presenter as such.
Yes.
That's right.
So today we're it. We are your co-hosts as well as your presenters. So exactly. I hope you enjoy being in our company.
Definitely. And again, thank you for joining us. If you're here for the first time, I've looked at some of the names on Zoom. They all look quite familiar. And it's wonderful to have the regular people who join us each week. But if you happen to be joining us via YouTube, you can't see who you are, and if you happen to be doing this Sahaja Yoga online meditation for the first time, then a big welcome to you. And as we always say, that even if it's your first time, you may not follow some of the terminology that we use and so on and so forth, but really Sahaja Yoga is essentially very simple and very natural. So it doesn't matter, and as long as you have a desire to join in and have your self-realization or establish your self-realization, then that's really the only thing that you need. And
yes, absolutely. The name says it all, because Sahaj is spontaneous and is an energy that's born within at the base of our spine, our divine mother Kundalini. So yes, whether it's your first time or if you've been meditating for a long time, it's always a pleasure to meditate with everyone. And it's it's online, but it's a feeling of collectivity, being together. And when we meditate together, the vibrations are always stronger than when we meditate by ourselves, whether it be online or face-to-face, isn't it, Richard?
For sure. And it's all about vibrations. So we may discuss things and share experiences, for example, but ultimately it's all about vibrations that we feel on our central nervous system. So that can be on our hands. Our hands are very sensitive, but also on our body overall. So like Leah said, it's very simple, and it's really beyond anything that we can talk about. And again, it's just that we're sharing experiences which hopefully will help people to have the experience themselves. And so tonight's topic, or today's topic specifically, is humility.
Yeah.
And those of you who join us regularly will know that we always like to, have a focus, if you like, just to make sure that we cover as much as we can as the days and the weeks go by. But what we've found that's very interesting is that whatever the topic might be, it always comes back to the basics and to meditation, to thoughtless awareness, and to the vibrations. So Leah and I are going to share some experiences and so on, specifically on humility shortly, but we thought we'd start by just having a nice, simple guided meditation and doing a bit of clearing. And again, if you're doing this for the first time, then just join in and go along with it. And then later on, you can always pick up some of the detail as you go along this journey of having your self-realization and then establishing your self-realization. So let's all start by raising our Kundalini and giving ourselves a bandhan.
Yes, good idea.
So if you haven't done this before, you can just follow us with this simple exercise. And then we can just sit with our hands palm upwards on our lap and our feet on the earth. Ideally with any footwear off, so that we really feel our connection with the Mother Earth.
And also, if we've got glasses on, we can take them off because we won't be reading anything. And we can also absorb vibrations through our eyes, so we can sit and relax, either with eyes open or closed. Meditation is very individual thing. It's whatever you feel comfortable and can get you into a state of meditation.
Indeed. And as we always say, it's this energy system that we have is a subtle energy system. So the whole experience is very subtle, but very profound. So just a simple thing like loosening our clothing and taking off our shoes, taking off our glasses, puts us in a physical or physically open position to allow this energy to flow up from the base of our spine, all the way through the chakras, along the spine and out through the top of the head. And just feel the connection with the earth as the thoughts subside and the awareness of what we feel increases. Any sounds we may hear, and just that bliss in the heart, which is the spirit, our true self. And the attention just resting above our head, beyond the mind, beyond the thoughts. So there's really not a lot we need to do, but just while we're doing this collectively, maybe Leah, you would like to just take us through some simple exercises to clear the left and the right channel.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so Shri Mataji, the founder of Sahaja Yoga, as you can see in our picture on Richard's altar and also on my friend here on Zoom, Shri Mataji has given us some very simple clearing techniques. And because we have 3 channels of energy, we got left channel, right channel, and we have the center channel. So the center channel is where we want to attain, is where we want to be in the present when we meditate. And what is meditation? You know, people might have different ideas about what is meditation. In Sahaja Yoga, meditation to us simply means being in the present, being in the center channel, in the power of now, and having less thoughts. I mean, it's almost impossible not to have any thoughts, but the thoughts become less and less the deeper we go into a state of meditation. So generally, when we start our meditation, first thing in the morning if we can, and last thing in the evening before we go to bed, it's always a good idea to do the simple exercises which Shri Mataji has taught us, and now we pass on this legacy, is to simply use our hands and our desire from the heart to be in balance. So to clear the left channel, let's just drop the right hand towards the Mother Earth, keeping the left hand open on our lap. So for the people watching, you know, you are mirroring us. So just, make sure you've got the left hand on the lap and the right hand towards Mother Earth. Or if you're sitting on the floor, just place the hand flat on the ground, which is the Mother Earth. And here, again, like we mentioned before, either with eyes open or closed, if you've got a little altar and you have a candle, you can look at the candle flame and you can talk to this female mothering energy inside of us, which is Kundalini, and we call her Mother. So we say, Mother, Kundalini, please bring our left channel into balance. Mother, please bring our left channel into balance. You know, and depending on how long you've been meditating, as we meditate, the more we meditate, the more we also learn to be guided by our own Mother Kundalini, by expressing our desire from the heart, because she knows everything and she does everything, but she also appreciates, like a mother does, when a child asks for something. So, you know, one of my favorite prayers for the left channel is to say, Mother Kundalini, please bring my left channel into balance, and please make me stronger than my memory so that I can be present. And as we do this clearing technique, depending on how our left side is or our subtle system is, we can sometimes actually feel literally physical little discomforts or little aches or pins and needles on the hands or the finger of the right hand, the hand that's facing towards Mother Earth. And the left hand then becomes lighter. And sometimes you start feeling a sensation of coolness on the left hand as this Mother Earth absorbs any imbalances from our left channel. And then just after a few minutes, like we have just done, we can bring this right hand back to the lap. And then we can clear the right channel. So the right channel is the channel of the sun. It is the channel that represents more the action side, the male side, the future side. And it can sometimes get a little bit warm or overheated because that's the side of where our liver is. So sometimes with overthinking, over planning, thinking about the future, or even depending on our work. I, for example, work with translations. So I sit all day on a computer and think and translate from one language into another. So quite often the right channel gets a little bit overheated and the liver can get a little bit hot. So in order to cool down the right channel, we just bend the left channel at the elbow very comfortably, keeping the elbow by our side, and just place our hand, the palm facing backwards. So this is like a chimney, and like all earthly elements, a chimney usually is where heat from the fire goes out into. So this is a symbolic gesture for us to express the desire to Mother Kundalini. Mother Kundalini, please remove all excess heat, all hyperactivity of the mind, all futuristic planning from our right channel, and please let it be absorbed into your air and ether element. And then again here, we can keep our eyes open and look at the candle flame, or we can close our eyes and we can stay for a few minutes. And again, as we said, Sahaja Yoga, everything's spontaneous, it's very natural, and it's a natural living energy that's inside each and every one of us human beings. And she's very intelligent and innately knowledgeable. So if there's any heat or any hyperactivity of the mind, we can sometimes feel a little bit of sensation as this heat goes out through our left hand, and our right hand can start becoming cooler. And then after a few minutes, we can just bring this hand back onto our lap. And now we got both hands on our lap, palms facing upwards, with the hands open, which just symbolizes that we are open to receive these vibrations, which are natural and are divine, and it nurtures us from inside out. And it gives us sustenance and everything that we need to go deeper into meditation. So here, rather than asking, we can express gratitude. So here in the center, we can say, Mother Kundalini, we thank you for bringing our left and right channel into balance. We thank you, Divine Mother, for keeping us in the present. And taking us deeper into a state of meditation. And then here again, we can often feel when both our hands start to go cooler. And sometimes we feel this feeling of joy inside the heart. We feel that the thoughts are less and less. They start subsiding. And as one thought comes, it drops off. Another thought comes and drops off. And we go deeper and deeper into a state of meditation. And now that we are in this state of meditation, let's take our right hand and put it on the left side of our chest. Now, on the left heart, as we have in Sahaja Yoga, we refer to three hearts. We have a left heart, we have a right heart, which is on the right side of the chest, and we have a center heart. So in our left heart is where our spirit resides. And as we all know, the heart is where we express love, humility, gratitude. And in Sahaja Yoga, this state and this love goes deeper, much deeper than the love that we may share with a husband and wife, our children, brothers, sisters, mother, father. It's a deeper love, it's a greater love, it's a love that we have for the whole of humanity. And also the love that's in the heart is also reflected as forgiveness, which is on the third eye. So if we bring the hand to the forehead, just rest our hand gently onto our forehead. Bring the head down gently into the hand. Now this is, as we bow down our head, is a true sign of humility and love. And when we attain this state of true love, it's through forgiveness of others, forgiveness of ourselves. And it's very symbolic today, as it is Easter Friday, and we're easing today into the Easter long weekend. It's a very important time for forgiveness. And this is represented by Lord Jesus. When Lord Jesus forgave mankind, it freed us and allowed us to be forgiving. So when we are truly forgiving, we can truly feel love for the whole of humanity. And when the love in the heart joins the forgiveness chakra, then we can truly be in meditation. So now let's take our hand, still with our head bowed down. Place the right hand on the top of the fontanelle bone area, that softer bone that was pulsating when we were little babies. And as you look at the baby's head, you can see the fontanella pulsating. And here, let's just rotate the scalp firmly towards our left shoulder. And let's here ask humbly, Mother Kundalini, please take us deeper into the state of meditation. Please take us deeper into our enlightenment. Just massage the scalp firmly, but at the same time gently, rotating it towards the left shoulder several times. And then when we're satisfied with that, let's raise our hand 2 to 4 inches above the head. And just feel if there's a very cool breeze, like a baby's breath, on the palm of our hand. Sometimes some people feel it much higher, stretching the whole arm out. Some people feel it as we bend the head further and towards the front of the head or the side of the head. So just feel. And this is really very, very gentle. Sometimes we feel it, sometimes we don't. But she's there. Is the Mother Kundalini that has pierced through the fontanelle bone area and is taking us higher into the state of meditation. Then we bring the right hand down and take the left hand from the base of the spine very, very slowly through the center channel. Bend our head and just bring the hand up 3 to 4 inches above the head. And see if the sensation is different with the left hand. Sometimes we can also have a feeling of sometimes pins and needles or a heavy hand, or there's heat coming out of our body. And that's all good, because that means that, yes, she's there. She's doing all the living work for us. And if we've got excess heat or coolness in our body, it expresses. We need not worry about that. So bring our hands down, back on our lap. And let's just sit for a minute and just see how we feel inside. Just check in with us. How do we feel now that we've balanced? Here personally for Leah, it's been more a sensation of actually warmth, heat emanating from the body, which is not surprising. Having worked on the computer, translating all day, there's a little bit of heat is stored in the body. And the beauty of Sahaja Yoga meditation is that when we sit to meditate, it just all clear. So whatever's built in comes out. And when it releases, it's good, because it means that we don't get sick by having stored excess heat or coolness or worries that sometimes keeps us away from meditation. So whatever we feel, whether there's heat, whether there's tingling, pins and needles, anything that we feel whilst meditating, we don't need to worry about it, because she, the Divine Mother Kundalini, is nurturing us and is clearing away anything that we do not need to keep, and bringing us further and further into balance and deeper into a state of meditation.
Well, thank you, Leah, for taking us through that clearing and balancing. Absolutely beautiful.
Pleasure.
And we're going to continue with some more silent meditation. But just before that, we're going to listen to Shri Mataji's talk. And just before that, we're going to listen to a lovely piece of music. And just before that, right now, Leah and I just want to share with you some experiences about humility. And so, well, in fact, Leah, when you were going through the guided meditation there, we were putting our hand on the forehead, and there could be no better example of humility than what we're celebrating this weekend, which is Easter. And the lengths that Lord Jesus went to demonstrate, not just to talk about, because it's easy to talk, but to demonstrate the power of forgiveness and just how important it is for our benefit. And so when we forgive, this chakra here can open. And if we don't forgive, it can't open. So our Kundalini can basically be so close to this opening in the Sahasrara, and yet it can't do those last few centimeters. So forgiveness and humility are actually essential. So we have to find a way to get in touch with our own humility. And Leah, I just wanted to ask you, is there an example you can give us of your own experience where you've felt just how powerful and what a relief it is when we get in touch with our humility?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And well, I would like to use a classic example of, say, today, as we are here and now, this morning, as I was beginning to do a meditation, I felt this humility and this love, and have the attention on Lord Jesus Christ, who is also represented as Lord Sri Ganesha, the Lord of Innocence. So I decided to start the meditation by washing Shri Mataji's picture with the cloth and some rose water. And as I did that, and I offered some flowers and I lit the candle, I felt very humbled by the experience of being a Sahaja Yogi, as we say, as we start meditating in Sahaja Yoga. And I did a little meditation and I prayed for humility. And then we have a little game of cards that's called the Lila game. And the Lila is represented by Shri Krishna, which is the Lord of our communication, the chakra we're using today to present this meditation. So I reached for the card and I said to my own spirit, to my own Mother Kundalini, what's your message for me today, Mother? And I've got this little card here. I don't know if it's big enough to read on the screen, but I'll read it for you. It said, modesty will let you grow inside and you will become beautiful. So by reading that, straight away, I could feel my Kundalini blowing really, really cool, as I can feel now. And that gave me such a feeling of humility. I felt so humbled by this experience, by having this power within ourselves to desire, to have a pure desire for something and to get it straight away. And
that's the thing, isn't it? That people sometimes associate humility, and you mentioned innocence, the power of the bottom chakra, as a weakness. But after self-realization, we realize that, in fact, these are very powerful states to be in. to be innocent, like a child, and to have that humility, which is really being free of ego. And it's not weak. On the contrary, it's very powerful. And if we've, my own experience in just observing the world around me has been that if where everybody is living in that world of ego and striving to be better and so on and so forth, then it becomes a habit. And it takes a little while after starting the meditation and getting that connection with this far greater power that's all around us. And gradually you start to sink into that humility, and then you realize that, you know what, it's actually a very powerful thing. And it's much more powerful, infinitely more powerful than the ego, which hitherto we strived so hard to make bigger. So it's a bit of a paradox initially, but actually humility makes us much more powerful in the true sense.
Yes, true.
Loving, more compassionate. That's the real power. So thanks for sharing that, Leah. That's a very recent and clear example of what it is that we're focusing on. Maybe now we can just go to the piece of music that we're going to play, and we can continue, keeping our attention here, staying in thoughtless awareness while we enjoy this meditative piece of music. And that will be followed by a talk from Shri Mataji. It's an excerpt of a talk where she's specifically focusing on this ultimate chakra here of Sahasrara. And then after that, after Shri Mataji's talk, we'll come back and we'll just continue with about 3 minutes of silent meditation. So after the talk, just sit here quietly for a few minutes before we come back and continue on. So let's go to Nikki Wells and then Shri Mataji's talk.
Beautiful.
साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी
which we should know. When you feel responsible, you must know that you are not in charge. One thing. Secondly, you also must know that there are so many other forces, so many angels and ganas are with you. You are not alone. So, to think that you are doing anything will make you maybe egoistic. At that time, what you have to do is best is to say, all right, I am not doing anything, it's the divine that is working it out. Not that the divine wants any credit from me. But by saying that, this balloon of ego will not come. And you will become humble. And this humility will definitely improve this great tree of spirituality within you. Definitely it will make you a very evolved personality, no doubt about it. But first of all, we have to say, I am not doing anything. It's very important to understand when you have spiritual authority to do things. It is not a testing ground, I can tell you this much. Many people think that mother is testing us. I am not testing. You are testing yourself. I am not saying don't do this or don't do that. You are testing yourself and now must know that you are in the beautiful garden of reality. Where very few have entered. And there in that garden, when you enter, what do you see? Is everything is full of beauty. Every person has something sweet about himself. Because all other Sahajogis are also having the same kind of experiences of this reality, which cannot be described in words, but you start feeling it, that oneness, that nearness, that friendship, without any expectation. You start feeling, oh, it's a Sahaja, a kind of a complete integrated organism as you become an organization, I should say, which is a living organization. In that you do not feel you are something separate. any Sahaja Yogi, whether he is highly placed or he is not doing much in life, this integration, this oneness, this feeling of identification with others makes you so large, so big, so great, so powerful. You are not alone and you say, I am not doing anything. So you become so humble that you forget all these false ideas about class consciousness or religion consciousness or I don't know, all sorts of consciousness people have. I don't know much about these consciousnesses that human beings suffer from, but I've seen how it happens. And when that humility becomes your character, not that you are humble because there's something to be done, you are humble. When people are doing some sort of, say, business, they'll be extremely humble and nice, but they'll be very unkind otherwise. Here then you become absolutely humble. And there's no duality in your personality left. But that doesn't mean you become weak. Humility is only possible for people who are strong, because they don't need any reactions. They don't need any protection. Their humility keeps them protected also very much. So you just start thinking or feeling, thinking is a funny word, feeling that you are a small dust particle. At the same time you feel you are the whole sky. It depends on where you are, what you are doing, what you are seeing, what you are witnessing. Sometimes you feel that all these big Johnnies are useless. You feel nothing to worry about them, very small. And with some people you feel you are very small. Such a flexible temperament you develop. And that makes you subtler and subtler. Because you can penetrate into anything, any subject, any personality, any understanding, any book, anything, any enterprise, in a very subtle manner, and you immediately see what is to be done, because you become so subtle. And then when you become very great, then you start thinking, or I should say feeling, what you can do to help so many people, to do this great job, to do that. This when happens to you, they don't think that you are egoistical. Nor you should think that you are very small. Only thing is now you are the spirit. And spirit is very subtle. It's a very subtle light. But it can penetrate into anything. It could expand into anything. It can remain anywhere or it can disappear anywhere. This subtle personality that you are which is your spirit. You even don't use it, but it uses you all the time. Without your knowledge, it uses you. So the second thing should be that you should not determine what you are going to do, what I have to do. If I have decided I must do like this, whatever you have decided is all right. But if it does not materialize, there's nothing to worry, there's nothing to be upset, there's nothing to be overly nervous about.
Just keep our attention above our head and our eyes closed. But if at any stage we feel the mind is noisy or active, then we can open our eyes and look at the red bindi on Shri Mataji's forehead on the photograph, the screen, and just say, I forgive these thoughts. Otherwise, we just sit quietly in thoughtless awareness, our attention just resting above our head. So we can just continue in our meditation, but just now, if anybody we'd like to invite anybody who might have any comments or questions to put them into the chat, or join us on video. You can switch your video on and your microphone and join us. I suspect we may not have too many comments or questions because we're probably all enjoying this silence, this peace, and the thoughtless awareness. If you have any if there's any particular sensations you feel on the hands, for example, please let us know, and we'll just spend a couple of minutes maybe addressing those collectively. As Leah said in the beginning, the combination of individual meditation where it's just ourself, our kundalini, our spirit, and this all-pervading power, and doing the same thing collectively as we're doing now, that combination of individual and collective meditation is very powerful. So because we're here together right now, we can look to see what we feel collectively, and we can help to resolve or balance those particular catches collectively. And of course, just doing the meditation, our kundalinis are like a forest of kundalinis working together, and the clearing is happening anyway. We had wonderful clearing and balancing at the beginning there with Leah's guidance. But if you do feel anything on particular fingers, for example, we know that the different fingers correspond to the different chakras within us. So as well as feeling our kundalini here above our head, we can also feel the state of our chakras on our hands. So if there is something that's particularly prominent, let us know. Otherwise, we can just enjoy the fact that everything's fairly nice and balanced and clear. So we don't go looking for trouble.
Absolutely not. Actually, it feels very, very cool.
Yeah.
And just a beautiful meditation, really, really nice. And I think that, give it another few minutes, minute or so. And if not, we can raise our kundalini collectively together, put the protection on our aura, our band of protection, and then we can continue meditating. There will be more beautiful meditation music for us to carry on.
Indeed.
So after raising the kundalini and taking bandha is by no means the end. We can continue meditating to music.
Indeed. Thanks, Leah. And that's what we'll do. We don't have any questions or comments, so we'll take that as a positive thing.
Yes, beautiful.
Very positive. And we'd just like to invite everyone to enjoy the collectivity. Here's a comment from...
Yeah, there is a comment just popped up.
from Vanita. Let me just have a look there. Let's see what that says. Vanita says that I was watching Bindi on Shri Mataji's forehead in front of the photo. I felt real mother in the photo. It was like a shock in my heart. So, yeah. Vanita is saying that she really felt the motherly, the fact that Shri Mataji is our divine mother. And we do use her photograph at her invitation for our meditation, not for her benefit, but simply because Shri Mataji does embody the divine mother, and her nature, her quality is that her kundalini is very strong and is always flowing freely. And so when we use her photograph meditation, our own kundalini recognizes that and it helps our own Kundalini to flow more strongly as well.
Absolutely, because Shri Mataji's picture actually emits vibrations which our Kundalini connects with. Yeah.
Wants to, yeah. So even if we don't have our self-realization or we don't know anything about it, a person's Kundalini will still respond to it. The beauty of having our self-realization, though, is that we know what's happening within us, and we can then raise our Kundalini. And it's not just a random event, that it's something very specific. Okay. Benita said that she was a bit of a shock. I have to say, when I first saw Shri Mataji on a video talking, just as we've seen her tonight, this was many, many years ago. And the first time I saw Shri Mataji speaking, I had a similar sort of experience, because Shri Mataji, to somebody who's English speaking, Shri Mataji has a slight accent, and both my parents are Polish. So my mum, who spoke beautiful English, but with a Polish accent. So immediately when I saw Shri Mataji, that made me feel just as you did. I didn't have so much of a shock, perhaps, but I just really felt from the very outset that this was my mother, not my mum, my biological mother, but my spiritual mother. Indeed, if we recognize that, then there's not a lot more that we have to do, because all the qualities that are within us become awakened, and the Kundalini shoots up. And so thanks really for sharing that, Benita, because that's such a powerful experience. And when it happens, it can be quite a surprise. So we really do appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. So maybe we'll finish, as you suggested, Leah, by raising our Kundalini.
Yeah, let's raise our Kundalini, put on the protection on our aura, and just continue feeling this experience, and continue meditating with music for as long as the music goes on.
Exactly. So we start the meditation with raising the Kundalini, and we finish exactly the same way. And the reason is because we don't actually want to, we may have to get up and do something, but we want to keep that connection. We want to stay in this meditative state. And so repeating the same exercise, at the end, so to speak, will help us to achieve that. So let's do that. Let's raise our Kundalini and give ourselves a bandha. So Jai Shri Mataji, please do continue enjoying some more music, and if you can, a few more minutes of meditation. And please come and join us again on Tuesday, when Chris will be joining us, and we look forward to that. And he'll be covering the same topic, really, but from a different angle, because he'll be focusing on the ego and how to be aware of that, and what we can do to deal with that and to bring us into this state of thoughtless awareness and humility. So thanks again. Thanks,
you.
Leah.
Thank you,
And
Richard.
please enjoy.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us, and see you again on Tuesday. Let's enjoy the music.